everybody, it's Diane from Diane Dashes, and I was just wanting to tell you about my week last week. I had the most horrific week. It was just a bad luck week. First off, I got behind, it was right in town where traffic was heavy. I was behind a truck that was pulling a trailer that had a tractor on it, and I heard a ping on my windshield. And this, folks, is what happened to my poor windshield. Look at that. And the crack goes all the way to about the halfway point on my windshield. So disgusting. Now, I called the glass company to see how much it would cost to replace the windshield. It's going to cost $400 plus tax. I couldn't hardly believe it. And I had just got done spending a bunch of my money on, early Christmas shopping. So I'm going to have to, wait and earn some more money before I get that done. But I thought, well, no matter, Spark has been doing pretty good. I'll have that money made in just a few days. Not a big deal. Well, then I started having trouble with Spark. Wednesday, I was doing Spark, and at the end of the day, around 4 o'clock or so, I took an order that was, it was Walmart.com order. It had, I think it was 11 or 12 individual drop-offs, each with like one item a piece. And anyway, so the first half of those were right in town, and I had those delivered lickety-split. It was like bam, bam, bam. Maybe a third mile in between each one, it was easy. Well, then the last half was a lot more further apart, and I didn't realize that when I took it, how much further apart some would be. So the last few, I was in a place that had hardly any reception. I barely was able to finish, completing the order on my phone because the reception was so poor. So anyway, the very last one, the app told me that I was going to have to park my car and walk the rest of the way. And I thought, no way am I doing that. And it didn't even tell me directions. Even if I did try to do that, it didn't even tell me where I was going to be going. So I thought, no, I've got the address. I'm just going to do this. And so I looked at the instructions that the customer gave, and they said there was a mailbox on the left-hand side, a black mailbox, and then right across from that was a red gate, and it was closed. And they said to either put the order inside the mailbox or on the ground right there in front of the red gate. Well, I didn't think it was legal to leave it in the mailbox, so I didn't do that. And plus, the mailbox door was hanging off. It was just hanging by a thread, so it really wouldn't be safe there anyway. So I didn't know what I should do. I had no reception to call. I tried to call customer service, and I couldn't even get through to customer service. I got a message that said that the app was broken. It would be at least 58 minutes before I could talk to a representative. So I thought, well, that's not going to work. And this was my very last drop-off. Of course, it always happens to my very last drop-off. Anyhow, I really figured I had no choice but to, I had two choices: either take it back and say undeliverable, and but I was tired. I didn't want to go all the way back to the Walmart store, and that would have took me another half hour out of my way one way, and then back home. So anyway, I decided I would leave it out in front of that gate because that's what the instructions said. Well, the next morning at 7 o'clock, I called customer service and told them what happened and, explained everything. They had it fixed lickety-split while I was still on the phone. By the time I was done, they completed my order. They said I was good to go. And so I went and I did some Spark that day. That was Thursday. And, or did I not? No, I don't think I Sparked that day. So anyway, so they got that all fixed up for me, and I thought, okay, well, it'll be great for this weekend when I want to Spark. Because I really didn't want to Spark that day. I was in a big mood to work on my quilt that I was trying to do for my granddaughter. And so anyway, I thought I'm just going to stay home and sew, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be able to Spark. Well, Friday morning I get up and I turn on the Spark to see how busy it is, and it looks like it's good and busy. So I'm getting ready to go, and all of a sudden, instead of seeing more orders, I get this notification. It says I have been deactivated because they can't verify my identity. Well, early that morning, I forgot to tell you, I'm going to have to back up just a little bit. Friday morning, when I went to get on at first thing, it had that little thing to pop up. You take your selfies so we can verify your identity. Well, you know how I switch my hair all the time. So you probably figured out I'm a big time wig wearer. I mean, I love my wigs. I have my own hair, but I love wigs because I don't have to worry about fixing it. I just toss it on and go. It looks great all day, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, but this particular time it was too early. I hadn't even gotten ready yet. I didn't have a wig on, but I thought, well, I've taken a selfie before with my natural hair, even though it wasn't fixed or anything. I just did a little quickie finger comb and took my selfies with that. Well, and it said after I did my selfies and it did the little thingy, checking your selfie, it did the check mark and it said, thank you for verifying. So then after that, I was able to see all the offers that were coming through, which told me that it was good and busy. So I was about to start to get ready to go. And I see this notification pop up. So I look at my notification and it says that my account has been deactivated because I couldn't verify my identity. And I thought it was just verified. What the crap, So of course you can't call customer service. They can't tell you anything when it comes to deactivations. And so it told me about the appeal process. So I went ahead and did an appeal, told them everything, told them all about, how I wear wigs, and that particular morning I didn't have one on, and all this other stuff. So now this morning it shows that it's under review. I'm not holding out much hope because I have seen and heard read a lot more people saying that Walmart Spark just will deactivate you for every little bitty thing. So I don't know what happened. I have no clue. But I got to looking back when I got on Spark was September 19. So I literally only had Spark for 4 weeks. And I'm telling you what, you could make some much, much, much better money than you can on DoorDash or Instacart or Uber Eats or whatever. I was really making decent money, and I'm so disappointed. I am hoping that they will reactivate me with my appeal, because it was absolutely not fair. I mean, nobody has gotten into my account and pretended to be me. I mean, it's just me. It's ridiculous. And all the other times that they just sporadically wanted my identity checked, I've had a different piece of hair on. It's always went through. It's always said, thank you for verifying. I don't get it. I just really don't get it. So anyway, that's why I have not been able to do Walmart Spark. And frankly, I'm kind of upset with them, because I was really counting on that money to get my windshield fixed, pull Christmas off with ease, all kinds of things, and now I'm back to just doing dashing. Oh, well, I'm just thankful that I at least have those apps, because, if something happened, people like my sister, the only app they've got is Spark. They're still on waiting lists for Instacart. She's had trouble getting on DoorDash. So, I mean, if she gets deactivated for something, she's up a creek, because as far as, gig work, because she won't have another app to work from. So at least I've got these other apps that I can open. And this morning I've been here for a good, probably almost half hour. I've not had one offer from any of my apps yet. So it might be a pretty slow morning. I don't know. DoorDash is saying 1 to 5 minutes, but I haven't had a thing, and I'm parked here pretty close to McDonald's and a lot of other fast foods. So I don't know. Maybe there's just a whole lot of people out this morning. So anyway, that is my story about Spark. I will keep you updated, and let you know if they reactivate me or not. Since it's under review, I should hear something this week, because they said it takes about 5 business days. So if it takes all week until Friday for me to hear, it might take that, but I just hope it doesn't take any longer. All right, guys, hopefully this week will be better. Wish me luck. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and I will see you next time. Bye.